What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In their latest This Week at Bungie update, some major changes were announced for the upcoming Season of Opulence DLC that comes out in early June 2019. Now, the biggest updates that they made there surround two of the pinnacle rewards from the comp playlist, that being the Luna's Howl and the Sister Hand Cannon Not Forgotten, which I don't have. Now, long story short, these two weapons, when Opulence comes out, will be dialed back just a bit. They are going to experience a nerf, and they're not going to be as effective as they are at this moment in time. Real quick, we can look at the changes here, but basically what you're going to see is both Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten are going to be bumped back from the current 180 RPM rate of fire that they have right now. They're going to be bumped down to the 150 RPM rate of fire, but they will maintain their precision hand cannon status, and that is important, and I will touch on that just a bit. The other big change, and this one might be even more impactful than the rate of fire change, has to do with the signature perk on this weapon, Magnificent Howl. Now, with that perk, at this moment in time, if you have Magnificent Howl activated, you can get a 2 headshot kill. When the change takes place, the biggest thing there will be no longer will the Magnificent Howl give you bonus damage on a headshot, but you will only get bonus damage on a body shot. And the end result is, instead of being able to get a 2 headshot kill with Magnificent Howl, you will now have to get a 2 headshot, 1 body shot kill. So you're essentially adding one additional shot that a player needs to make to take full advantage of that perk and get another kill from it. I think in its current iteration, it probably is a bit too powerful, especially amongst very, very skilled players. You're going to more or less kind of dominate everybody else. Not only is this a very stable, high rate of fire, but with that perk, this thing just smacks people left and right in Crucible. So I can see both sides of the equation. I can understand why some people are upset with the change. I myself didn't get Luna's Howl until very recently, and while it would be nice to kind of experience it in its true glory, I do have a little bit of time to do that. I can understand people on the other side where maybe it's people who can't get it, maybe it's people who haven't gotten it, or maybe it's people who have it and they think it's still too powerful and they want to kind of dial it back just a little bit. My opinion is that with these changes, yes, it's not going to be as good, but I still think that it's going to be among the best weapons to use in Crucible. So for that reason, I think that you'd want to make sure that you get this weapon. Here's the thing. It's a very good weapon. It's an amazing weapon right now. I do believe it's going to still be a very good weapon when they make these changes. And it is rewarding to get. So my opinion is I can understand the change. I think that the changes that they're making, albeit they are pretty significant, I still think that you're going to basically make this thing the best weapon in the game, and then you're going to make it one of the best weapons in the game. So normally I'm of the mindset, and I want to make this clear, normally I'm of the mindset that I would rather see weapons not be nerfed. I would rather see weapons be brought up. So if one exotic is performing way better than the other ones, I'd rather see some other exotics brought up and give players that optionality, give players that tough choice between 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or however many amazing exotic weapons. Give them that difficult choice on which one they want to use and not use, which one they want to sacrifice and not sacrifice. In this particular case here, because this hand cannon is far and away the best option. This hand cannon is better to use than any exotic hand cannon. It's better to use than pretty much any single weapon in Destiny 2 when it comes to Crucible. I think that the changes they're making are going to dial this back just enough where it's going to give players that tough choice. Hey, what do you want to use for your primary weapon in the Crucible? Now, I did mention as well that they are going to keep this a precision frame, and that is important because right now with the precision frame, the big thing with that is you have the very predictable recoil pattern. So everything is very, very vertical. It's very easy to string together headshots with this. Well, for some people, it's very easy to string together headshots with this. Now, with a lightweight frame, which is what the other 150 hand cannons are, this is the Midnight Coup, one of the streamer must-haves. If you're a streamer, you have to use this basically. But this weapon here, it doesn't have that extremely predictable recoil. It doesn't have that minimal recoil. But the bonus of this is it has faster movement speed. So you can see here that as I'm kind of walking around with Midnight Coup, if I switch over to Luna's Howl, I'm moving quite a bit slower. So while the Luna's Howl will be 150. It's not going to be a lightweight frame. It's not going to have that boosted movement speed, but it's going to have way more predictable recoil. It's going to have way more controllable recoil. So I still think that it's going to be a weapon that's very easy and has the same kind of feel to it, even though it's going to be firing more slowly. So I like the fact that they, with the changes they're outlining, they're keeping it a precision frame. That's going to make it still unique and still kind of a reward that is fitting for a pinnacle weapon. So I wanted to share my thoughts on this. Again, I know that this has really caught a lot of people off guard. Not maybe caught a lot of people off guard, but it's kind of upset a lot of people. I wanted to give it my thoughts. I thought about it last night. I thought about it today. I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions and really use this as a forum where we can facilitate conversation, rational, fair conversation on why you either like the change, why you don't like the change. Were you surprised? Were you not surprised? Are you fearful that they're going to change some other amazing weapons? I know that a lot of people kind of speculated that right away, once they said they're changing this, that weapons like Recluse were not far behind. So is part of your fear with this, the fact that they may end up nerfing something like Recluse? Do you want to see any changes to that weapon? I want to use this video as a way of sharing my thoughts, but also to getting out to the community and discussing this at length, because I know that Bungie is monitoring feedback. I know that DMG has a number of tweets out saying as much, that they're going to keep monitoring this. They're going to look at it once they do make the changes and then adjust accordingly. So I think they're doing their due diligence to make sure that these changes are being addressed. These changes are being carefully made. They're not just being made wantonly and without thought to other players. But I wanted to use this as a chance to reach out to you guys, get your thoughts and feedback in the comment section. And maybe you guys agree with me. I'm kind of right in the middle. I understand it. I think it's the changes that they're outlining, I think, are worthwhile. I do want to see them in practice, so I am reserving some judgment either way. I'm reserving some to actually see this thing in action. And I want to give it my first thoughts and opinions once they do make the changes live for Opulence. Will it be something like Aikilo's shotgun, where the changes here were kind of looked at in the same way with Vitriol at first? And is it as good as it was before? No. Do I still use it? Well, 15,000 kills says yeah, I do. So I think that with the Luna's Howl, we're going to see the same type of scenario where once we kind of try it out, once we use it, maybe that initial shock will kind of wane down just a bit and people will realize that it's still a very awesome weapon to use. So that's my opinions, guys. I want to hear yours in the comments below. As always, though, most importantly, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Would always appreciate a like on the video, and even more so a subscription to the channel, guys. I love this YouTube channel. I love this game, love this community, so cannot emphasize that enough. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck for the rest of Drifter, and I can't wait to see you guys in the Season of Opulence. Take care.